The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future. And happy Sunday afternoon, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. This is Retro Sports Network. Hope your day is going along well so far. We know there's a full day of football ahead on real sports or hockey, or depending on what you want to follow. And so we figured we'd start that with the American League Championship in that 60s tournament. Kurt Berglund's tournament has reached the other semifinal stage. The winner of this one will face the 1960 Pittsburgh Pirates. If the Red Sox win, Pittsburgh will host Game 1 at Forbes Field next Sunday. If the Orioles win, Baltimore will host Pittsburgh next Sunday here at Memorial Stadium. And we have an interesting matchup for you. We have Jim Palmer on the mound, coming off his sore arm in 1967. Pitched okay in 68, but only threw 181 regular season innings in 1969. That was considered a light load. Lee Stang is on the hill for the Red Sox. He did not start the year in the rotation. In fact, I don't think he even started for Boston that particular year. And then he came up in the bullpen and finally started. So the Red Sox earned a berth in this American League Final by beating the 1961 New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Baltimore 2 weeks ago beat the 68 Tigers. And so with all that, let's get to it. It's baseball right here on Retro Sports Network. And as you look at the field, we moved the mouse over to show you the field, or at least so I can see the chat. And tell Sean Cullen, good afternoon. John, how are you? And Kurt, woohoo, go Red Sox. We'll see. I'm managing the Orioles, so there's always a good chance the Red Sox will win. Jim Palmer on this cool 70-degree day. Winds blowing 16 from left to right. So Frank Robinson will be busy. And here's a lineup. Well, let me tell you first about Jim Palmer. He did go 16-4 with an ERA of 2.34. 181 innings, 131 hits, 11 homers. He walked 64 and struck out 123. Captain Carl, Sports Time Machine, how are you? Palmer's whip of 1.077 will be tough for the Red Sox to crack. And the lineup that they will send out there to face Mr. Jockey Shorts will be Reggie Smith in center field leading off. Mike Andrews will bat second and play second. Carl Yastrzemski is in left field. He'll bat third. George the Boomer Scott will clean up at first. Tony Cogligliero, wearing the eye patch, will be in right field. He'll bat fifth. Rico Petrocelli, the shortstop, will bat sixth. Joe Foy is at third. He'll bat seventh. Mike Ryan behind the plate will catch, obviously if he's behind the plate, Ron, and bat kind of eighth. And Lee Stang, the pitcher, will bat ninth. Defensively for the Birdies, Don Buford is a 5-4 and left. Paul Blair is a 10-8 in center. Frank Robinson a 5-5 and right. At third, the human vacuum cleaner, Brooks Robinson, is a 10, and so is Mark Belanger at short. Davey Johnson at second is also a 10, and Boog Powell is the weakest of the four fielders. He's just only a 6. Ellie Hendricks behind the plate. He's a 6-8, and Jim Palmer, not the best fielder of his position. He is a 4. And so with all that out of the way, Reggie Smith went 1-for-4 against the Yankees. He singled, walked, scored twice. 246, 15 homers, 61 RBI in 67. Palmer deals, and Smith flares that one into left field. Buford in the corner, 1 out. Late arriving crowd here in Baltimore. Some people expect the Colts to play. They're not. Here's Mike Andrews, 1-for-4 against the Yankees. He singled, walked, and scored. 263 and 67, 8 homers and 40 RBI. Palmer deals, and Andrews into shallow right. Robinson comes, actually it's Powell rather, by the grass, and there's 2 quick out. And here comes the Triple Crown winner. Carl went 0-for-4 with 2 strikeouts and a walk against the Yankees. He did drive in a run. 326, 44 homers. Tied Harmon Killebrew, by the way, in home runs, I think. And 121 RBI. Palmer delivers and struck him out. So, yeah, swung on and missed a 1-2 change. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books. It's the Red Sox nothing. Here come the Orioles. Lee Stang went 8-10 with a save. Maybe not who you normally would have pitched in an elimination game, but we'll get to the reasons why in a moment. A 2.77 ERA, 181 and 2/3 innings, 171 hits. He allowed 14 homers, walked 32, and struck out 101. But the whip's why he draws the assignment 1-1-1-7. And here's the lineup he'll face. Paul Blair will lead it off in center field. Don Buford in left will bat second. Boog Powell will bat third at first. Frank Robinson cleans up in right. Brooks Robinson will bat fifth. Davey Johnson will bat sixth at second. Mark Belanger will play short and bat seventh. Ellie Hendricks behind the plate will go eighth. And Jim Palmer, who threw 11 pitches in the top of the first, will bat ninth. That's right. Thanks, Edward. I do appreciate it. He did start at second. Wasn't very good, but he started there. Also was the person who taught actors to play Mantle and Maris and how to bat like them in 61. That's cool. I did not know that. Nope, I'm coaching the Orioles. They're the home team. I know. Bucks and Jets in 82 from a frozen Shea Stadium. Brr. Yep. Jets were good in 82. And Tampa, they made the playoffs that year, right? Because they went 8 deep in the per conference. Here's Blair, 1 for 4. He did that against the Tigers. 285, 26 homers, and 76 RBI. Defensively, the Red Sox are not all that in a bag of chips. Yastrzemski is a 10 in left. Reggie is a 8 and 7 in the center. Tony Cagliaro is a 5 and 6 in right. Joe Foy is a 3 at third. Rico Petrocelli a 5 at short. Mike Andrews is a 4 at second, which is probably why Reggie Smith started the year there. George Scott is a 10 at first. Mike Ryan is a good glove, no-hit catcher. He's a 7 and an 8. And Stang actually is not a bad fielder. He's a 7. Yep. No, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Pitch to Blair is a ground ball, base hit left side. Yastrzemski will throw it in, and the Orioles are in business. And I'll bring up Don Buford, 0 for 3 in the opener, with a run scored, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Big member of the 64 Shy Sox that almost won the American League. But in 69 with the Orioles, hit 291, 11 homers, 64 RBI. Stang deals, and there's a fly ball to right. Cagliaro makes... No, that's off the wall. I thought he made it. Blair's going to round third. Tony C. will just throw it back in the infield, and the Orioles lead 1-0. So Buford's got himself a double, and here comes Boog Powell at 304, 37 homers, and 121 RBI. Boog went 1 for 4 against the Tigers. Pitch from Stang, and Powell, ground ball, base hit right side. Buford will hold at third. And runners in the corners. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first for Frank Robinson, who went 0 for 3 against the Tigers. 308, 32 homers, 100 RBI in 69. Nobody out. Pitch from Stang. Robinson, fly ball, left field. Yes, will make the catch. Buford will tag without a throw, and it's 2-0 Baltimore. They get the sac fly to left, and I'll bring up Brooks Robinson. 1 for 3, RBI single against the Tigers. 234 on the year. 23 homers, 84 RBI. Yeah, 8 teams in the NFL from each conference made the playoffs. It was a Super Bowl tournament. Only time ever that playoff games competed against each other on television. Thanks, Ed. I do appreciate that. Nice start for the birdies for sure. Pitch to Robinson. There goes Powell. What? I did not call that. That is selected to be a hit, so Boog Powell stole that base on his own. He had a 17% chance of taking that base, and Ryan has an 8 arm. But you know things are going your way when Boog Powell steals a base. I wondered if the mouse was on hit and run, because sometimes if it falls down, you can't see it because I don't have it selected. But I'm telling you, it's on hit. So Powell gets the steal. And an 0-1 count to Brooks Robinson. Here's the pitch. There's a liner that's going to go all the way to the wall in left center. Powell scores. Robinson moves to third. And with 1 out, I have no idea why Boog Powell stole that base, but it got him a run. And we're going to go visit Lee Stang. Not the start that anybody wanted. Stang is strong. Davey Johnson at the plate. And so for the moment, we'll leave him in. Davey went 1 for 3 against the Tigers. 280 and 69, 7 homers and 57 RBI. Pitch. Line drive to Petrocelli, who leaps to make a great play for the second out. So here is the surprising Mark Belanger. Went 0 for 3 with a strikeout against Denny McLain. But in 69, he hit 287, which is unheard of. 2 homers, 50 RBI. 2 out, bottom of the first. Stang delivers, and Belanger with a liner into left field. Robinson will round third and score. And with 2 out, Stang is down to his last base runner, I would think. Here's Hendricks. Ellie went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against the Tigers. 244, 12 homers, and 38 RBI. Lee delivers, and there's a fly ball to right. Congligliero is there, and Boston's long national nightmare is over. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Orioles. Remember, they only scored 1 against the Tigers. After 1, Baltimore 4, Boston nothing. So Palmer will face Scott, Congligliero, and Petrocelli, and sitting on a 4-run lead. Against the Yankees, Scott 1 for 3 with a walk. And in 67, 303, 19 homers, and 82 RBI. Palmer deals, and Scott strikes out. 87-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and missed 1 away. For Tony C. Had a 3-run shot, I believe, in the first against the Yankees. Went 1 for 4. And 67 before his season ended on a Jack Hamilton fastball. 287, 20 homers, and 67 RBI. Weaver choked on his Chesterfield. Yes, he did. I remember having that with the code wheel. Yeah, I cannot believe that Boog Powell stole the base on his own. Pitch to Tony C. Struck him out. So Palmer, a 1-2 off-speed pitch right in there in the inside corner, and that's 3 for Jim. And also bring up Petrocelli, 2 for 4 against the Yankees. 259, 17 homers, and 66 RBI for the Sox in 67. 4-0 Birds in the second. There's the pitch. Rico into right center. Blair makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Inning and a half in the books. Red Sox in trouble. Baltimore 4, Boston nothing. So where's I.D. Jester? The Red Sox are losing. He'd like that. Jim Palmer, 203, and you still want pitchers to hit, huh? No homers and 6 RBI. Stang needs to find his zen right now. Pitch to Palmer is a ground ball to Petrocelli over to first, 1 away. So through 9 batters, this will not go in Lee Stang's best game I ever pitched in Baseball Digest column. 29 pitches, an inning and a third, 5 hits, 4 runs all earned. Blair singled and scored to start the ball game. Pitch from Lee, and there's a pop-up right side. Andrews, 2 out. So a better inning for Stang. Here's Buford. Don doubled home a run in the first and later scored. Yeah, that is the equivalent of the Black Cat running to... Actually, I thought that was good luck. Jimmy Qualls broke up a Tom Seaver no-hitter, I thought. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Pitch to Buford is a ground ball to Andrews over to first, and that will retire the side. So the Orioles go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, it's Baltimore 4, Boston nothing. Joe Foy, Mike Ryan, and Lee Stang to face Jim Palmer here in the third. Foy did not play against the Yankees. 251 in 67, 16 homers, and 49 RBI. Let me tell you, Captain Carl, my heart's broken if ID's still not over that yet. My uncle, the one that really got me into baseball, was a huge Cardinal fan. You've heard me talk about him before. And, you know, when he was alive, of course, like for a while after the 85 series, that never came up in conversation. He never brought up Bill Buckner in 86, and I never brought up Game 6 of 85. It just did not happen. Foy's ready. Palmer delivers, and there's a liner in the right center. That's going to be extra bases. Blair picks it up, throws it in the infield, and Foy breaks up the no-hitter with a double. Mike Ryan went 1 for 4 against the Yankees with a single and a strikeout. Hit 199 in 67, 2 homers and 27 RBI. Can't really hit into a double play. Ooh, cold wheels were easy to break. If you took apart the wheels, you could put them on a photocopier. And games were cracked pretty easily. Al, Red Sox fan, how are you? Pitch to Ryan is into left center. Blair has to run a bit. Will make the catch for the out. Foy tags and will go to third, and Blair will eat the ball. So runner on third for Stang, who went 3 for 50 in 67. I suppose you could do it. They're playing back. Oh, no, wait. Because I'm playing the Orioles. You got me confused. Going to play the corners. Let's see if Stang bunts. Pitch to Lee. Struck him out. Palmer got him on a 1-2 breaking ball on the black inside. 2 out. And so 35 pitches for Palmer through 9 batters. 2 2/3 innings. A hit. That was Foy's. And 1 strikeout. And that'll bring up Reggie Smith, who's 0 for 1. Yeah, that's how you do it. When the Braves were in Boston, now I don't even think it's even called Nickerson Field anymore. They still play some stuff there. Patriots played there in 1960. Boston Breakers played there in 1983. Reggie Smith, as I said, 0 for 1. Runner on third is Foy. Into left field, Buford makes the catch to retire the side. Red Sox get a hit but do not score. No runs, a hit, no errors. 2.5 in the books. It is Baltimore 4, Boston nothing. So it'll be Boog Powell. He only had 1 stolen base in 69. They handed him a bucket of ribs, by the way, in the dugout. And yeah, Earl choked on that Chesterfield when he stole that base. Pitch to Boog. Into right. Caglignaro. 1 away. Can't steal if you can't get on first. Frank Robinson sack fly his first time up. Gives him his first RBI of the tournament. Finals will start next Sunday. We know the 60 Pirates are in. If it's Baltimore, it'll be right here at Memorial Stadium for Game 1. Best of 3. Pitch to Robinson. And there's a little chopper down to short. Petrocelli in that moat, and Robinson's going to have it. So they watered it down, and you can just see the ball kind of sloshing around. Dick Williams is not a happy camper, and that will bring up Brooks Robinson, who doubled home a run and scored himself. Stang deals. Robinson base hit left field, and that's going to be it for Stang. Dick Williams puts on the waders and comes to get him. Jose Santiago coming in. So Santiago really was the Swiss Army knife for the Red Sox on the mound in '67. 12-4 with 5 saves and a 3.59 ERA. 145 in the third innings, 138 hits, 16 homers, 47 walks, 109 strikeouts. Really, I've been going with the starter with the lowest whip, and I didn't realize that wasn't Longborg. Stang should have started the game in New York, but he didn't, and he couldn't make it out of the third inning against Baltimore. Davey Johnson, by the way, is 0 for 1. Runners on first and second. Robinson brothers from another mother. Frankie on second. Johnson into deep center field. Smith runs back, makes the catch. With 2 outs, runners will hold. And Belanger is coming up. He's 1 for 1. He's got himself an RBI single. 2 out, bottom of the third. Santiago deals, and there's a number that's going to get in the hole in right center field. Frank will score. Brooks goes to third. Belanger's on first, and it's 5-0 Orioles. If only they say they could do that to the Mets. Here's Ellie Hendricks. He's 0 for 1. So Brooks on third. Belanger on first. Santiago deals, and there's a base hit in the right center field. Robinson scores. Belanger goes to third, and it's 6-0 Baltimore. Here's Palmer. He's 0 for 1 with 2 out. And the tea party has just started. Please keep jinxing them, Mike. Pitch to Palmer. Struck him out. So Santiago got him on a 2-2 fastball right at the knees. But the Birds get 2 more. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors after 3. 6-0 Baltimore. About time a home team scored some offense in this series. Mike Andrews is 0 for 1. Yep, I loved all those all-star teams. And I love the fact that you could create stadiums. That was my favorite part of the game. Pitch to Andrews is into left center. Blair, 1 away. Bring up Yaz. He struck out his first time up. Palmer, kind of on cruise control right now. Not even I could get a loss for Jim Palmer at this point. Pitch to Yaz is a liner into right center field. And Yaz is on with a single second hit. That doesn't mean that Baltimore can't lose the game. Just Palmer's not going to be in the situation to actually be on the mound if it happens. Here's George Scott. The boomer struck out his first time up. Palmer throws. There's a liner to left that's going to drop in front of Buford, and the Red Sox got something cooking here in the fourth. Second time through always is tough for these good pitchers in this game. And now bring up Cagligliero. Yastrzemski on second, Scott on first. Tony C. struck out his first time up. That's right. Captain Carl says I would throw in the towel, but the way I bowled last Friday, I probably wouldn't hit the floor. As long as you look good, you know. You can make your own players and rosters. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of partying in college either. Pitch to Tony C. is a fly ball to center field. Blair's going back. He makes the catch against the wall, and Yaz will go to third. Blair went up, hit the wall, made the catch, and Yaz took the easy base. Blair says, "I'm fine." And there's 2 out for Rico, who's 0 for 1. 70 degrees, winds blowing left to right at 16. Red Sox threatening here in 2 outs, top the 4th. They trail 6-0. Pitch to Rico. There's a liner right to Davy Johnson. Look what I found. Mom, the 3rd out. No runs, 2 hits and no errors. 3.5 in the books. It's Baltimore 6, Boston nothing. So I'm sure this will be Santiago's last inning because he's due up 3rd in the top of the 5th. But we flipped the order again for the Orioles. Blair, Buford, and Powell. Paul Blair, 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 1st. Jose delivers, and there's a fly ball left center field. Reggie Smith runs a country mile and makes the catch by the bullpen. 1 out. So Santiago finally has an inning under his belt. Don Buford had the big RBI double in the 1st. Santiago's pitch, line drive right to Andrews. Had time to autograph it and flip it back to Jose. Jose said, "No, it's a blank piece of paper I wanted you to autograph, not a baseball." Boog Powell, who might have made the most improbable play in baseball history. Well, maybe Bartolo Colon's home run against San Diego a couple years ago. That might have been there. Anyway, 1 for 2, run scored, and the stolen base. Pitch into center field. Smith is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Santiago goes 1-2-3 after 4. 6-0 Baltimore. Foy, Ryan, and Santiago. Jose's only thrown 25 pitches, but you're down 6-0. Foy doubled, first hit of the ball game for the Red Sox in the 3rd. Palmer deals, and there's one in the left center. Blair, 1 away. Mike Ryan is 0 for 1. Russ Nixon is the other catcher for Boston. That made the roster. Elston Howard did not. Pitch to Ryan, struck him out. So that's 5 for Palmer. Full count pitch off speed, swung on and missed. So the Orioles and Palmer are sitting pretty. Will Santiago bat? Hit 190 in a homer with 3 RBI. He will bat and ground one right back to Jim. Jockey shorts and all, throws to first to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home in this American League final. It's all Baltimore, 6-0. So the in-game box score shows Lee Stang, if you joined us late, in a very figurative sense, pooped the bed. 2 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs all earned. He had none stuff, 47 pitches, 37 strikes. Jose Santiago in relief, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits and a strikeout. Jim Palmer, 3 hits over 5 and 5 strikeouts. And the batting hero, would you believe? Well, Brooks Robinson is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Mark Belanger is 2 for 2. Oh, that's new. And if you had that as a prop bet in Vegas, what the hell casino would have taken that? It's a fake baseball game. It'll be Robinson, and Johnson. Frank, sac fly and a single. Scored in the 3rd, RBI in the 1st. Santiago deals, ball 4. And now I'll bring up Brooks. 2 for 2. Single and a double and an RBI. Jose, runner on first. Delivers. And there's a high fly ball to left center. Reggie Smith goes back, 1 out. David Johnson's 0 for 2. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Baltimore. They've left 3 on so far. Boston, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and they've left 3 on. Pitch to Johnson is in the shallow center. Here comes Smith, 2 out. Mark Belanger has 2 RBI. He had 50 on the real year. He has singled twice. Pitcher from Yankee Stadium, obviously. Pitch. Line drive, foul. Left field side. Somebody in a naval suit, in a Navy uniform with some Rear Admiral stripes, got that. And he holds up a sign that says no DH forever. Ball and 2 strikes to Belanger. Santiago deals. Ground ball to first. Scott will flip it to Santiago covering, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We've played 5. It's the Orioles 6, the Red Sox nothing. Yeah, and you really could in that game. I loved it. You know, put the monster in right field, 3-foot walls all the way around. Also because that really was the first, we're talking Earl Weaver baseball. By the way, it'll be Smith, Andrews, and Yastrzemski for Boston here in the 6th. And Scott, if anybody should reach. It really was the first game that you had the chance to see older ballparks in action. I mean, you could find pictures of Ebbets Field and all that, but Griffith Stadium in Washington, Municipal in Kansas City, Sportsman's in St. Louis, you didn't see those in the mid-'80s. Now we have pictures and can doll them up and all that. Then you take, you know, those all-star teams. Let's put them at the Polo Grounds where it was 275 down the lines. Anyway, Reggie Smith is 0 for 2. Jim Palmer threw 18 batters, 68 pitches, 5 innings, 3 hits and 5 strikeouts. Make Fenway look cookie cutter. You take the same put turf. You want to see an old man cry? Put turf at Wrigley or Fenway. Pitch to Smith, struck him out. Palmer got him to swing on a 2-2 fastball, 1 out. Here's Mike Andrews, who's 0 for 2. Connie Mack was a fun stadium, and that kind of really was a cookie cutter. You could, Fenway is a football stadium they play baseball in. Look at the way that the right field is angled. That is a football stadium all the way. When Tom Yawkey redid Fenway in the mid-'30s, I mean, the Patriots played there for 5 years. In fact, the Boston Redskins played at Fenway Park. What they did for football at Fenway in the 60s was they put temporary bleachers out in front of left field. So the monster wasn't much of anything. Scoreboard was separate. Pitch to Andrews is a ground ball to Johnson. Davey throws to first for the out. I know. Blasphemy indeed. Yaz is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. 2 out, top of the 6th. 6-0 Baltimore. Pitch from Palmer. Into left center, Blair makes the catch to retire the side. 5.5 in the books. Baltimore 6, Boston nothing. Hendricks, Palmer, and Blair to face Santiago, who is going to finish his 3rd full inning, or start his 3rd inning, after I take a drink. More and more looking like that Baltimore and Pittsburgh will play in that 60s final, which is how that 70s final went. Ellie Hendricks is 1 for 2. He has singled and driven in a run. Santiago deals, and there's another base hit into right field. 10th hit for the O's. And up 6, Jim Palmer is not going to bunt. You don't need it. Palmer is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The same friend introduced. Oh, yeah, the Stats Baseball Handbook. It's amazing. You think I'm a gateway to things. It's a good thing I lived in the country in the 60s, in the 80s. I'm bad enough with the baseball now. Pitch to Palmer as Ryan and Santiago go out and have a conversation. Jose deals, and Palmer pounds this one in the left. Yastrzemski in the corner makes the catch in foul territory, 1 out. So Santiago, 49 pitches, now has 3 full innings, 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Has done yeoman's work for the Sox pitching, for the Sox, after Lee Stang forgot that he was pitching today. Pulled the Denny Galehouse. See how many of you can figure that one out. Pitch to Blair, 1 for 3. Now he's 2 for 4. Drops that one into right center field. Hendricks will hold at second. 1 out for Buford, who's 1 for 3. Double, a run scored and an RBI. Runners on first and second. 1 out, top the 6th. Ryan and Santiago have another conversation. Jose will deliver, and Buford hits a ground ball to Scott. Petrocelli for 1, back to first. Buford can run, and he beat it out. So it's a fielder's choice. It goes 3-6 on the card, 2 out. And that'll bring up Boog Powell. 1 for 3. Hendricks on third. And Buford on first. Santiago, I can't imagine, would pitch beyond this inning. Pitch. Struck him out. Got him on a 2-2 fastball. Powell stood there like a ribs joint on the side of the road. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Baltimore strands 2. After 6, it's the Orioles 6, the Red Sox nothing. Scott Giglignero and Petrocelli to face Palmer here in the 7th. The Boomer has singled and struck out. Jim deals into center field. Blair, 1 out. Giglignero. Tony C, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But his everlasting gobstopper memory is going to be that huge 3-run homer to stuff the Yankees at Yankee Stadium against the 61 Yanks. Pitch to Tony is into left center, popped up. Belanger, 2 out. So Palmer cruising right along here on 86 pitches. Here's Petrocelli. He's 0 for 2. Ball 4. So Palmer slams the ball in the glove with disgust, a 3-1 curve that missed outside. And now bring up Joe Foy, who is 1 for 2. His double came in the 3rd. Yastrzemski, Scott, and Foy are the only Red Sox to have base hits. Got him! Palmer got him to swing and miss on an 0-2 pitch. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go, it's stretch time. Last call for Natty Bo. Orioles 6, Red Sox nothing. And here's the time for the in-game plug for my Patreon. If you like what you see on the channel or would like to give a tip, patreon.com/Retro Sports Network is where you go. If you'd like a game such as this, as Kurt Berglund paid for this, any game in the Action PC library, $10. Tournaments negotiable, of course. Go to patreon.com/Retro Sports Network. And even if you don't give any money, we thank you all for your support. The organist got a solo. He's happy. It'll be Frank, Brooks, and Davey batting here in the bottom of the 7th. Santiago will stay on. He will bat second in the 8th. Robinson has walked once, sac fly, and singled. Pitch from Jose. Ground ball, base hit right up the middle. Petrocelli should have stopped that. He didn't. And there's nobody out for Brooks Robinson, who's 2 for 3. Double, single, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Pitch. Got him. And Bucky Brandon's coming in. So Santiago, 3 2/3 innings of 5-hit ball and no runs. Pitching change for Boston. Bucky Brandon coming in. Bucky went 5-11 in 67 with 3 saves and an ERA of 4.17. 157 2/3 innings. He also started a bunch of games, but when they got Gary Bell, from the Indians. You could put Brandon into the bullpen. 157 and 2/3 innings, 147 hits, 21 dingers, 59 walks, and 96 strikeouts. It'll be Davy Johnson to face him, 1 out. Belanger on deck. Davy is 0 for 3. Brandon delivers. Ground ball to Scott. Might be 2. Petrocelli for 1. Back to first. Does Johnson beat it out? Yes, he does. And again, 3-6 on the fielder's choice. 2 out, runner on first for Mark Belanger, who is 2 for 3. 2 for 6 in the tournament. Pitch from Brandon. Ball 4. So the Orioles are threatening again here in the bottom of the 7th. Ellie Hendricks is 2 for 3. He is singled twice and driven in a run. Baltimore has 12 hits. The Red Sox have 3. And there's a ground ball to second. Andrews over to Scott, and that will retire the side. The Orioles, no run, a hit, no errors. They leave 2 on after 7. 6-0. So Palmer's given me the fatigue sign with 40 to go. Throwing a 3-hitter. Be Ryan, I would imagine, a pinch hitter, and Reggie Smith for Boston here in the 8th. Ryan is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Palmer delivers. Ground ball to short. Belanger by the bag at second, over to first for the out. Bucky Brandon, if he does bat, 186 and an RBI. Dalton Jones will pinch hit, and that is the right call. Dalton played against the Yankees, went 1 for 4. He singled and struck out. On the regular season, 289, 3 homers, and 25 RBI. Palmer delivers. Jones up the middle, base hit. So Dalton's got himself a single. That's the 4th hit for the Red Sox. 27 batters for Jim Palmer, 100 pitches. More importantly, 7 1/3 innings, 4 hits, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. Reggie Smith is one of those strikeout victims. He's 0 for 3. Pitch, ball 4. So Earl rocking back and forth on the top step of that dugout as Mike Andrews is 0 for 3. Palmer deals. Ground ball to Powell. To Belanger for 1. Back to Boog. Does he have it? No. He beat out the relay, so another 3-6 fielder's choice. But 2 out for Yaz. Jones on third. Andrews on first. Palmer. A pitch. Yaz into right center field. Robinson will track it down, and that will retire the side. Dan Asinski coming in for Boston, 7.5 in the books. It's the Orioles 6, the Red Sox nothing. So we'll give Palmer a chance for the shutout. He still has quite a few pitches left. Dan Asinski coming in. 3-1 with 2 saves and a 2.54 ERA. 63 2/3 innings, 61 hits, 5 homers. He walked 14 and struck out 38. Palmer is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Asinski delivers, and Palmer hits a ground ball right side base hit. So 13 hits for Baltimore, 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors, and they've left 8 on. Boston, no runs, 4 hits, no errors, and they've left 6 on. Paul Blair is 2 for 4. He has singled twice, scored once. Asinski delivers, and Blair smashes that one in the left field. Petrocelli again should have had it. And the Red Sox, the wheels have come off. So Palmer on second, Blair on first, and Buford 1 for 4 with a double. Asinski's pitch into left center. Reggie Smith coming on strong and makes the catch. 1 out. For Boog Powell, who's 1 for 4. The stolen base might have been the craziest thing I've ever seen in this game, and I've seen a lot of crazy things. Dan deals. Struck him out. 2-2 in there below the belt, and Asinski gets his first strikeout. That'll bring up Frank Robinson, 2 for 2. He singled twice, walked. The RBI came on a sac fly. How are you, DJ John on the West Coast? Pitch to Frank is a fly ball in the right. Congligliero moves into right center, and that will end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Orioles, by the way, have stranded 10. We go to the 9th, 6-0 birdies. So Scott, Congligliero, and Petrocelli and Palmer will get a chance to finish this out. The Boomer, 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Scott into right field. Robinson is there. 1 away. So it'll be the Pirates and the Orioles unless something absolutely nuts happens. Wind is now 21 from left to right. Congligliero is 0 for 3. Has himself a strikeout. Palmer deals. Got him! 2-2 cutter, swung on and missed, strike 3. And now the Red Sox tournament depends on Rico Petrocelli, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. I had a fun time. It had been too long, John, since we had done a chat with Al. And Al and the OG stayed on for about 40 minutes after I went to bed. Palmer, Jerry Adair is going to pinch hit. Or Jerry Adair. Jerry, 291, 3 homers and 26 RBI. Palmer deals, and there's a little looper in the center. Blair comes in, and the Orioles shut out the Red Sox 6-0. So again, 2 tournaments, 2 Pittsburghs and Baltimore. I can't imagine we'd do that for the 2000 teens. The Orioles advance on a 4-hitter by Jim Palmer. Yastrzemski, Scott, Foy, and Jones had the hits. And Congligliero struck out twice. Palmer struck out 8. For the Birds, Blair went 3 for 5. Brooks Robinson went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. And Mark Belanger drove in 2. He went 2 for 3. So Palmer, 9 innings, 4 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 8. In 115 pitches, he threw 84 strikes and 31 balls. Santiago went 4 scoreless innings. He pitched so well. Brandon and Osinski did their best. Stang just was horrible. We could have just played Pittsburgh and Baltimore in a 3-game final. Didn't need to do the rest of that. So that's what we have for you. Starting next Sunday, it's a best of 3. Game 1 in Baltimore, Game 2 in Pittsburgh, and Game 3, if necessary, in Baltimore. And because they had to add off days, you could see Palmer and whoever I threw for Pittsburgh in the championship in Game 3. Cuellar would pitch Game 2. You'll get a different starter in Game 1. Tomorrow, I might do an Ask Uncle Ron later on. You never know. Tomorrow, it'll be on tape. I'll do it tomorrow night. Or I might do it tonight. We'll see. And before tomorrow, I'm going to do a full instructional game in Strat Hockey. So look for that. And then I think we have 2 football games. I think we're going to do Thursday. I don't know when we're doing them. It won't be Tuesday, I don't think. Although they are calling for 5 to 8 inches of snow here tomorrow and Tuesday. So fun. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. As always, I'm Ron Juckett for Retro Sports Network. Strat Video will be the next one that pops up on the channel. We'll talk to you the next time.